Welcome back to the PigSkin podcast, episode 32. We've got the conference championship round. We're going to talk about those games. There have been some coaching changes too. We talked about Harbaugh going to the Chargers. It was announced that Dave Canales is going to take over as the head coach for the Panthers. There's some basketball stuff. We'll get into basketball like later on down the line after football season's
After
over.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and baseball as well. But right now, we definitely need to talk about Dave Canales going to the Panthers just like real quick before we get into the conference championship games.
Yeah.
I like
Sucks
Dave
for Baker,
Canales.
doesn't it?
I like Dave Canales and I hope he succeeds. That's the reason that you hire Dave Canales is like, hey, we need you to fix Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Like we need you to fix Bryce Young. David Tepper's got to be like the worst person to be your boss. If you hear everything that Frank Wright had to go through, Frank Wright,
Yeah.
it was like every 2 weeks, like he had a sit down with David Tepper, and like a lot of sports media and NFL Network media are saying that like the ship could turn around. Like at some point, David Tepper is going to get tired of losing, and he's going to like put football minds to the use of turning around that franchise rather than trying to do it himself. I hope he succeeds, just because like you know what he did for Baker. He seems like a good guy. I mean, just
Oh, you hope Dave Canales
yeah.
succeeds. I thought you said you hope David Tepper succeeds. I was like, I don't give a fuck
Well,
about him.
he's so far he hasn't thrown drinks on anybody that we know of.
Yeah. You also have to have a game to go to.
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe when he's back on Wall
That's
Street.
like saying I haven't punched anybody in the face at the gym in 6 months, but I also haven't stepped foot inside a gym in 6 months. So
That's true. That's true. But Dave Canales, smart offensive mind. You saw what he did for Baker. The Bucks will be fine. Baker will be fine. He'll get paid. But the main objective was definitely to fix Bryce Young. Tough task when I think he's already broken.
I don't know that he's broken, more so that his offensive line is certainly shot.
Yeah, and his receivers too.
Yeah.
His most reliable receiver was an old Adam Thielen, who still good. He's old. It's just
Yeah, it's like Jordy Nelson on the fucking Raiders. Like
yeah,
it's just doesn't really. It's there, it's happening, but it doesn't really make sense anymore. So,
yeah, exactly. So
but
I mean, we'll see how it goes. That division is still like it's the Bucks to lose, I guess.
still, yeah,
Yeah,
I
it kind
think
of feels that way.
I think you could have. Not saying this about Baker, but you could have a serviceable team with a decent quarterback or a good quarterback and go far in that division, or you could have a really good team with a shit for brains quarterback and do just fine. So,
Yeah,
I mean, look
yeah,
at Atlanta. Like Atlanta was still in the division race in the last week of the season, and they had Desmond Ritter and Taylor Heineke swapping starts. So,
they just interviewed somebody else for the head coaching position.
yeah,
There is a shot that what's crazy in like my lifetime. I don't think there has been a time where Bill Belichick hasn't been a coach. That could be the case.
yeah. I mean, he could legitimately spend some time out, or he can come to Green Bay and be a DC.
I just don't think that's gonna happen, buddy.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna
Sorry.
happen. It's not gonna
But
happen.
yeah, Bill Belichick, I mean, there is a shot that he doesn't become a head coach next season.
Yeah, another guy that
Do you
all
think
likely.
do you think it's because like he was like do you think it's NFL teams aren't going to want to put up with him or like a franchise isn't going to want to put up with him like trying to be the GM too, like trying to draft. That's what he did at New England. It was like, "Hey, there's a stud quarterback on the board." And he's like, "Well, how about we get this offensive lineman from South Dakota State, turn him into a stud.
I mean, it's
We can
not
turn this
wrong.
Kent State quarterback into a stud wide receiver that'll win us multiple Super Bowls."
I mean, it
He
worked, right?
kind of knows what he's doing, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that it's necessarily that. Now, it certainly could be, but it just, I feel like Belichick wants it to be the right fit. I don't think he wants to rebuild anything.
He didn't
I
really
feel
have
like
to
he wants,
rebuild much with the Falcons, though.
yeah, but their defense is getting old in key places. They have some young talent, but not a whole lot. So the defense is going to need a pretty sizable overhaul, and they have to have a quarterback.
Yeah, there's a chance. Justin
I'm
Fields.
ready to go. Yeah, that is very
Yeah,
true.
there's a chance Justin Fields goes to Atlanta.
Speaking of the Bears made headwind. in the NFL news. There was a
I don't
certain
know if that actually that's
defensive
fake news.
coordinator.
Fake news.
There was a certain defensive coordinator that was interviewing for that job up there, man. We're both pretty familiar with him. What do you think?
I think it's good. I think he'll come in and he's actually going to be able to play for he's going to coach a real defense,
Okay.
a culture that absolutely feeds off of the 80s football because they
Okay.
can never get the quarterback right. But he'll be able to coach a defense that actually has real talent, good talent at that, unlike the Green Bay Packers.
Oh,
And he'll
okay.
be able to like turn his image around because throughout the years, like, he played for some work, or he coached organizations that didn't have the kind of defense that, Chicago can always build
Okay.
upon. And so like he's going to be able
So,
to sit there and he's going to watch, as
so
Eberflus calls and coaches the defense, and then he's going to
okay.
realize like, okay, the Packers, like, they're just, not a good defensive organization.
So Green Bay doesn't have talent on defense with 8 first-round picks and 3 All-Pros.
I guess maybe they're just not that good.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
Your
The Packers
talent's
also.
just not that good.
Oh,
Maybe that's
okay.
what it is.
I appreciate it. The Packers also interviewed some DCs for the defensive coordinator position, but nothing super strenuous or super serious, I guess is the right word at this point. So, really, I think that's just about it. Sharon Moore is the head coach at Michigan now. He did get that bump, which I think is good for them and good for the program. Kind of stops the bleeding that's going around college football right now, at least for the time being, in terms of coaches moving and the transfer portal getting lit on fire again. So we probably will see that be pretty set until after spring ball. But that's pretty much all I got. Do you want to go ahead and hop into these conference championship games?
Yes, let's go in. First game, Chiefs Ravens. Okay. There's levels to this.
Yeah.
So with the Ravens, like, I really do think the Ravens are the better team going in. Like, when you look at their defense and the way they've played, listen, they've got 10 wins against teams with a winning record this season. They're also 7-2 against playoff teams. The only 2 losses were to divisional opponents, the Browns and the Steelers. And that division is also really just fucking good. So I do think that they're the better team going in. Lamar's playing really good. They're going to be able to run the ball if they get Dalvin Cook touches, because like I still think he's the most talented back they've got right now. And the Chiefs have key injuries on their defense. Now they do have Chris Jones, and Chris Jones is just good pass rushing and run stopping. So like there's that. John Harbaugh's also won a Super Bowl with the Ravens before. Like he can legitimately take them back. They've got the resume, they've got the stats, they have everything to win this game. But then I look at the Chiefs side and they have Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce.
Hey, I didn't know if you mentioned it. My fucking computer is being weird. Mark Andrews has been elevated off IR to play in this game.
That's another thing. Well, are we going to get like a fully healthy Mark Andrews?
I would think we're going to be closest to healthy that he's been.
Yeah, that's true.
Little while.
I think like a 50% Mark Andrews is like can do just as much damage.
Yeah,
like
50% Mark Andrews is still very good.
Yeah,
very good.
But again, the Chiefs, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce.
That's the thing I keep coming back to, man.
Yeah,
that's the toughest part about it. And look, it's a 4-point spread. Baltimore's favored by 4. I think now the over/under is 44.5. I think the under hits in this game.
I like the under.
I think both of these defenses are going to show up and I think it's going to be a very physical, like an old like NFC North type game, like or an old AFC North would probably be the better way of putting it. Like Ravens, Steelers, like it feels like it's going to be. And I could be completely.
The old Steelers Ravens games in the playoffs where it'd be like 17-15, or just something.
Yeah,
like very low scoring, and it's gonna be like the tough
beat down of both of these offenses. Because I think, look, man, the Ravens have the best defense in football right now. They're certainly playing the best.
I think when they all gel together and it gets going, they are the best defense in football.
And Kansas City is one of maybe I would say Kansas City's a top 5 defense in the NFL right now.
Yeah, their defense has been insane this season.
Yeah.
They've been really good. Like Steve Spagnuolo has his guys,
And
and they've got a
they've
good
also
secondary.
played really great when it matters most. Like they have been fantastic late in games, especially when the offense is kind of struggling a little bit. Like you saw it last week. I mean, they just shut Buffalo down. I mean, yeah, there was a couple key plays they missed on, but realistically, like Buffalo probably wins that game if Kansas City's defense isn't playing that well.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing. Like when it comes to the Chiefs, like what are we gonna get? Because you saw like against Miami, and you saw it last week against Buffalo. Like their offense has been clicking. Like we had the MVS game last week. Like he played well.
Yeah.
Like can you continue to rely on him to be a guy that like is gonna play that like what if they bring Kadarius Toney in? Like Kadarius Toney also plays well. Like he doesn't have the issues that he's had in the regular season. Like is it like are we gonna catch lightning in a bottle with those two? Like is it Mahomes? Like and Andy Reid and all of those like veteran guys that are elevating the team and they're playing better, or you know, like we don't know. We just don't. Like
That's the
that's the thing.
thing. They have been so hit or miss. But honestly, I'm telling you right now, Travis Kelce is going to be the difference maker in this game.
Well, yeah, like
I
it's
mean,
Travis Kelce
that's
in the playoffs.
obviously it's Travis Kelce in the playoffs, but I'm saying like I think as physical as Baltimore's secondary is, he's going to be matched up probably on like Kyle Hamilton for most of the game because they're not going to put a slot corner or anyone on him. I think he's going to play against a safety or a linebacker for the majority of the game, and like Roquan Smith's not going to be able to cover him.
Maybe Patrick Queen.
I don't think so. Kyle Hamilton's, I think, their best shot, and he's not the greatest cover safety. He's more of a come down and fucking smack you. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is going to be a game where Mahomes is more so than ever, especially this season, is going to seek Kelce on every play. He's going to be his true band-aid or
What
his
about
true
Rasheed
safety net.
Rice? Because he
Yeah,
played
Rasheed
well.
Rice, he did play well, but like in
But you go
games
to the
like
guy that you're
this,
most reliable. Like you go to your most reliable
yes,
target, a guy that
in
you
games
trust.
like this
Yeah.
against defenses like this, you're going to go to the guy you trust the most, and that's Travis Kelce. And if Jason and Taylor Swift are up in the stands doing what they're doing last week, Kansas City might win by 40. So
It's gonna be a little different for Travis Kelce because, like, Buffalo fans, like the Bills fans, like they're crazy. They'll jump through tables, and they're probably the most fun tailgate of all time.
yeah, but
And
Baltimore fans will fucking stab you.
well, that's exactly you beat me to it. Like the Buffalo fans are crazy, and they're like one of the more fun fan bases. But yeah, Baltimore fans are a little different.
Yeah.
Like they are a lot more. With Buffalo, all you got to do is take your shirt off and chug like a beer bomb, and then bam, you win their hearts.
Well, in Buffalo, you show up with a white table and they're like, "Hey, you're my best friend." In Baltimore, you show up with a wallet and they're like, "Run me your shit, bitch."
Yeah. Or like you have to wear like the camo pants, like the purple camo pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
And I
might
can't
be good
imagine
on.
him like pulling up in that. Maybe
I don't
like
think so.
maybe Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I who do you think now I say Kelce, that sounds obvious, right? For either team, if one player is gonna step not a one player, not a quarterback, is gonna step up and win the game for either team, who do you think it is?
One team has Matt Nagy as their offensive coordinator, so I think it's gonna be Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think their big their the guy that's gonna step up is?
Lamar Jackson.
Well,
He's gonna
outside of
have
a
to.
quarterback.
Well, I mean
Outside of a
that's
quarterback.
outside of a quarterback.
Yeah. It's obvious quarterbacks have to play well.
Their defense.
Okay. You're bad at answering this question.
Well, no, I mean I don't think it comes down to one person.
Well,
This is the AFC
that's fair.
Championship. Like
That
you're
is
gonna
fair.
have to play as a team. This is like right before the Super Bowl. Like in regular season games, like you can have that one person step up, but everybody's gonna have to play like very good football. Like you're gonna have
Yeah.
to play as a team. That's just how like it's like the Lions this season. Like the Lions have played together well as a team, like
Mm-hmm.
as a whole. It's gonna be the same thing. Like the Chiefs, it's like the Chiefs have the advantage because they have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Like they're just that much of a difference maker. But like with the Ravens, if you're gonna beat the Chiefs, two-time Super Bowl winning Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, everybody's gonna have to step up. Everybody's gonna have to be on their A game. That's how it works. I don't think it boils down to like one single person.
I got you.
But if I could see somebody being the difference maker, it's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. I got you. I mean, fuck, he is their leading rusher and obviously passer. So I'm surprised at this
They're
point he's not their
the
leading
difference
receiver.
maker. Here's how it's gonna have to work. They're gonna have to hire Connor Stallions. I feel like he is
Okay.
working for them kind of like on the side.
Think
Like
so?
he's like, hey, like I helped your brother win a national championship. He's assigned me to help you win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But then like on the side, without John Harbaugh knowing, he's like taking notes. He's taking
Mhm.
notes on everything that John Harbaugh is doing. And Mike McDonald, he's like feeding that information to Jim Harbaugh because they have to play next season.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see that. Um.
So Connor
Well,
Stallions is gonna have to be the difference maker.
okay. I see. I got you. So, how do you see this shaping out betting wise? So, again, Baltimore's favored by 4. Over under is 44.5. We've already stated that we like the under in this game. Both of us really do. Do you like Kansas City to cover? I mean, it's only 4 points, field goal difference, but do you think this is one that maybe there's a late touchdown and it gets away, or who do you think wins?
I think Baltimore wins. They have the better team. Like it's one of those like last week when they played the Texans, it was a don't overthink it game.
Yeah.
Like Baltimore was clearly the better team, and they were going up against a rookie quarterback and head coach.
Correct.
This one's a little different. Where like I am overthinking it because I do think Baltimore going into the game, they're a much better team just all around.
Yeah.
But Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, Andy Reid, like that's the difference. And then they've got Creed Humphrey as a center.
Yeah.
He's really good. If you
And
didn't know,
Pacheco's playing his ass off.
yeah, Pacheco. That's another guy that's gonna probably have a big game. Like I think that's like the best running back that Mahomes has had. Like
Yeah.
physicality wise, Damian Williams was really good. Like he was
I'm glad he got a ring.
physical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was physical. Like he was a good runner. There's something about the way Pacheco plays that's just a little bit different though.
Yeah. No, I
They're gonna have to
100%
establish
agree.
the run.
They will. And that's going to be the toughest thing. I mean, that Baltimore front is fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're really good.
they're so good.
And it's also a big game for Baltimore because they're gonna have like legends there. They're gonna have Ed
Mhm.
Reed, Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs. It's basically just like a Ring of Honor without being a Ring of Honor.
I mean, bro, their front seven is so insane. I mean, Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen are great, but Justin Matabuke, Broderick Washington's playing great. Kyle Van Noy's still a very serviceable linebacker.
Yeah, when he's out
Um,
there.
Michael Pierce, Travis Jones, like Odafe Owe, by the way. Shout out Ortega Owe's brother.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so good, man. And that's gonna be the toughest thing. I don't know. I'm trying to pull it up real quick, but I don't know where they rank necessarily as a team defensively. But I feel like they're obviously among the top against the run. I mean they have to be, but with their front seven being so good, dude, it overshadows the fact their back four have been amazing as well. Their
Yeah.
defensive backfield has been great,
Yeah.
especially Kyle Hamilton. He's so good, man. He
Yeah.
is. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
yeah, no, he's been incredible. But again, you're gonna have to play on six cylinders this game.
Oh yeah, they're
It
gonna.
is in Baltimore. It is in Baltimore, so you do have that home field advantage.
Yeah, yeah, that is
Mahomes is
true.
1-0 in road games in the playoffs.
He is never
So
lost.
you got to think about
What's
that.
that LeVar quote? I'm undefeated, never lost.
Yeah. But 8-2 versus playoff teams this season is like a really good stat for
Mhm.
the Ravens. That's what makes me like them more. Like I'm not gonna bet on this game, but if I were to, that stat just it glares at me.
Yeah.
They shit on the Lions. They shit on the Seahawks when the Seahawks were like when they were still hot. Like they were the number 2 seed in the NFC, and then they destroyed the 49ers. They
Let's say
destroyed the Dolphins.
they beat
They've
the piss out of everybody in the playoffs.
yeah, they've beaten the piss out of playoff teams. Like their losses to the Colts. The Colts are just that organization that beats good teams sometimes. Like they
Yeah.
did it to Kansas City. Like Kansas City can't figure out the Colts.
And
Then
then
it,
they lost to the Steelers without playing any of their starters
yeah,
last week of the season.
yeah.
So
And then the Browns that one game,
yeah,
but they beat them they're 1-1 against them this season.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean that's a glaring stat. I do like the Ravens going into this one. We'll see how it plays out. But let's go and talk about the next game.
Okay.
Lions 49ers. So I'm kind of at my ends with cheering for the Lions just because they are a divisional rival. Like, I don't know. I think both teams are going to run the ball more.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's if you're the Lions and you're watching that game last week against the Packers, like how much success that Aaron Jones had, you're going to get David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs going. Like
You're
you're
going
going
to
to
get
be able
Jameer Gibbs out in space is what you're going to
get him out in the perimeter. Let David Montgomery be like your ground and pound,
Yeah.
like your Eddie Lacy.
Between the tackle guys.
Yeah, just you're gonna have to do that. I am happy for Jared Goff. I'm glad he's having a good season, and I do like the fact that the Lions have just been so gritty, and I'm happy for their fans. Again, I'm happy. That's the thing. Like I'm happy for my buddy Arnold. Like he's been through pain and suffering, and a lot of Lions fans have.
Mm-hmm.
It's just tough to like I don't want them to win a Super Bowl though. Like
we will be forever shit on.
Yeah.
On Twitter as Bears and Packers fan. You as a Bears fan forever, anyways. But
Yeah.
as Bears and Packers fans,
I mean, it does look good in a way where we did beat them this season. We're 1-1 against them.
As did we. We were also 1-1.
So that
would
does
be nice to
good.
beat the Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, that is true. When I see this 49ers team again, they do have like studs everywhere. Like in terms of like the best talent, they've got the best talent.
They're Texas. Like exactly what we said in the last episode. They're Texas. And
you know what? I'm rooting for George Kittle, diehard Bears fan.
I'm rooting for
George Kittle.
California to just fall off the face of the earth is what I'm rooting for. I have no winner here. I mean, yeah, I'd be happy for the Lions. Only thing I can say about being happy for the Niners is they got two Sooners on the team and Braden Willis and Trent Williams.
I think I'd be happy for Jameson Williams too.
Yeah, fair enough.
Jameson Williams was like huge. That was just huge draft crush. And then it came out that he was a gambler and he's one of us.
Yeah.
Like that's
Speaking of one of us.
Keyshawn Boutte.
Yeah, hilarious. But anyways, I'd also be fairly happy with seeing Dan Campbell win a Super Bowl. That'd be sick. Yeah. See him win one. But it's just doesn't it feel like kind of like with maybe not for you, but kind of like with the Packers last week, it kind of felt like the story was up, right? It's been fun all year, and it's been fun since we got into the playoffs. Now with the Lions, it kind of feels like it's time. Like it's time for them to. But in the same breath, when I say that, they're a good fucking team.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing that stumps me is like they are a really good fucking team. And I do want to agree with you that the story's up. I hope George Kittle has a good game. Diehard Bears fan. There we go.
Friend of the Stoops family. I mean.
Yeah. And I hope Jameson Williams has a good game too. Yeah. He's a gambler. I bet he's going to bet on himself.
I hope George Kittle never touches the ball. Or if he does, I hope someone Bro, look, he from Norman.
Won't. Like, I do think Brock Purdy's going to have a better game because, like, what I said about the Lions defense going up against Tampa Bay, they're not very good against, like, slot receivers. And what's one good thing that Brock Purdy can do whenever he's doing timing routes on slants?
Mm-hmm.
Timing routes on slants, he's really good at it.
Yeah.
And he's not very good at improvising, but, like, if you get a timing route and somebody's open, he can make the play. But I do think they're going to feed Christian McCaffrey a lot more. Like they're gonna.
Yeah, I think that's their key to win is getting the ball into CMC's hands as much as possible. I will say, and I brought it up last episode, that whole "go Pat, go fuck yourself" from George Kittle, not funny. All right, I'm still pissed. I'm seething. I hope if he catches one, kind of want to see him just get blasted over the middle. But then again, like I said, friend of the Stoops family. We love the Stoops around here. Boomer Sooner, as always. He went to high school in Norman. His dad coached at OU. But just one shot. Just one big shot. That's it. That's all I need to see. But anyways.
Scumbag.
It does feel like I feel like whoever runs the ball better is going to win this game. It feels very plain and dumb to say. But I feel like there's going to be opportunities for Brock Purdy throwing the ball, but he's going to have to try to make the most of it. Debo should play, but probably won't be close to 100%.
There's actually a wild stat that they are 10-1 when he's playing in games. At least like I think when he gets one target, it's like one or two targets in a game, they're like 10-1. That's crazy stat.
That's
Fucking
insane.
absolutely.
I mean, he is a
Is he
true
gonna
difference
play?
maker.
Yeah,
He's not
he's the
on their
game
injury
changer.
report.
Like this is the one team that like your quarterback isn't the difference maker. It's your skill players. Like your skill players are that good.
Yeah, he's not on the injury report. Let's see if it says anything about him.
Yeah, if Debo plays, there's a better shot.
I think he is supposed to play, according to what Kittle was saying on Bob Stoops' podcast. He should be good to go.
Okay then.
Yeah, because he's not even on the injury report at all.
All right, so the 49ers are winning the game. You did mention that the run game is going to be the diff. Like whoever runs the ball better is going to win. It's a game of trenches. This is what literally. It is with these two teams. Like whoever controls the trenches more. It's cliche to say, but it's true. Like for this game specifically. Yeah.
It's trench warfare.
But I think Jared Goff's going to have a good game.
Now, I do think so too. Now, while the Lions do have Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow and Taylor Decker, the 49ers have Trent Williams. And he is a grizzly bear of a human being, and it absolutely just murders people, dude. Just murders people. And I do agree, though. I think Debo is going to be the difference maker, but I
should feel like Aiden Hutchinson on that side of the field.
That would be a hell of a battle. I wouldn't even watch the rest of the game. I just watch them all game. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would.
That'd be awesome. Isn't it just hard to see the Lions win this one? It's not, but it is, right? It just feels like everything's shaping up for the Niners to win.
I don't know.
Debo's going to be back. What do you think about the over-under, 51.5?
I think that's fair. I think it's kind of low.
So you think the over hits?
I do. I think there's at least 55 points scored in this game. Hammer it. Yeah. Yeah, I know this is a tough one because it's like I want to be happy for their fans. Like I do want to be happy for my buddy who's a Lions fan, but at the same time, divisional opponent, like it is rough.
I think if I was a fan of any team outside of the NFC North, I think I'd want the Lions to win and pick the Lions to win this all day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna root for them to win. Like I don't want the team to win. I just want their fans to be happy because I understand. I've been in that pit before. Like I understand.
I feel you.
You have more of like a pity. You have more pity.
Yeah, because I fucking hate the Niners. And we're going to be contending with the Lions for the top of the NFC North. With maybe the Bears, depending on what y'all do in this draft. Y'all could be
the Vikings.
There. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on what happens with Kirk when he comes back and what they're going to be looking at their quarterback. They're a good team. They were a playoff team if Kirk didn't get hurt this year. I think we said that before, but the NFC North looks really strong going forward.
Yeah, I mean, we say that. The Bears will do something to fuck it up.
Bears will draft like...
Packers will lose in the divisional round again. The Bears are going to fuck up the draft. The Lions will probably go back to being poverty. And then the Vikings, at least they got Kirk O'Chains.
Yeah, fair enough. But, I mean, who do you see winning at the end of this?
I hope George Kittle has a good game, and so does Jameson Williams.
Oh, you pussy. You can't pick?
It's hard to pick because I think the Lions, like, are the better, like, they're hungrier, like, obviously. Like, Dan Campbell being just, like, an ultimate football guy. He's going to have those guys fired up to play. I don't know. Like, there are reports that Ben Johnson has been talking to, like, to other NFL coaches. Are they, is he going to be... Or he's been talking to like NFL teams about potentially being hired somewhere. Is he going to be distracted, Or was it one of those where he's like, hey, I'm only focused on the NFC championship right now. Get back to me afterwards. He would be hired at that point if I was a NFL GM. I'd be like, yeah, you're hired. Like that's what I want to hear.
Oh yeah.
You're focused on.
I hear you on that because Dan Campbell's such a great motivator and a leader of men. But I don't know, man. San Francisco with all the. Have you seen San Francisco fans on fucking Twitter? They since Green Bay beat Dallas, they've been acting like they've been the underdog. Who the
Oh
fuck,
yeah, I know.
bro?
They're favored in
They've
like
been a
almost every game.
yeah, exactly. They've been a 7-point favorite the last 2 games in the playoffs. But I will say, I feel like that's a mentality that's kind of being pushed around by these players, though, because of what happened with Brock last year. People dogging on Brock, and like Cam Newton saying he's a game manager and he's not a good quarterback. And people were like, there's 3 good quarterbacks in the playoffs, and then Brock Purdy. You know what I mean? Like, people have been shitting on them from a standpoint of Brock Purdy more so than anything else.
He's won playoff games. He's won 3 playoff games.
No, exactly. And I'm not joining that at all. I think Brock Purdy's a great quarterback. I mean, yeah, he does shit for
Boneheaded
brains
shit.
things,
Yeah.
but he has his Brett Favre moments, as I like to call them. I mean, they're just bad throws and weird moments and things that make you scratch your head, but he's still a good quarterback. He's highly
Yeah, I know
efficient.
that always comes up in conversations where it's like he's a good quarterback. What he's doing with the ball is incredible, and it's a product of the system.
Exactly. Exactly. When Kyle Shanahan's system, by the way, is based off run first offense and playing with the lead. But anyways,
That's the thing. That's another analysis I have on like the San Francisco's defensive line. Like they always play with the lead. That's like the system that
so
they
they can pin
run.
their ears back and just chase the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Like look at how they fared when they didn't have a lead and they had to, the Packers were running it down their throat. Like what if that's the same case? Like what if because Detroit's offensive line's good. They're
I
very good.
think
Now Frank Ragnow, he got hurt.
yeah.
I think he's good to go though.
I
I didn't
don't
see
think
anything
he's
on the
on
injury
there.
report.
He's not on the injury report listed
Yeah.
out as of now. I do
He got the
think
Aaron Rodgers treatment.
yeah.
Some painkillers.
Funny. I do think that if San Francisco had a dominant interior tackle, like an interior defensive tackle or a dominant nose, I mean they have Eric Armstead.
Yeah.
But if they had like a big like a Kenny Clark sized nose tackle, like just a big wide motherfucker, I feel like I have a lot more faith in them winning this game. But I feel like the Lions have such a great opportunity to not only run it down their throat, but do what Green Bay did and get on the outside and do some of those, like the pin pull toss was killing San Francisco, and just get on the outside and make their not their linebackers, because Fred Warner and Greenlaw are great going sideline to sideline.
Yeah.
But if you can get someone in the second level to at least slow them down, their defensive line's going to have to fight for that, right? Their defensive line's going to have to pick up that slack, and I think that's where their weakness is. That's why I think if David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs have good games, not even from a yardage standpoint, but like a yards per carry, or they break a big run or two or something like that, I think Detroit wins the game. It's just I feel like San Francisco.
We know
It's
how they
in
are
San
away.
Francisco. They've been there multiple times. San Francisco's been this close multiple times. It just feels like this is the time where they break through.
That's kind of like this is a you have to do it moment for Kyle Shanahan too.
I think so.
Because he's been to 1 Super Bowl and then NFC Championship, or he lost the NFC Championship last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like he lost in the Super Bowl. Like this is like you have to make it if you're.
I think this is their best shot to win a Super Bowl as well, because the Chiefs aren't what they've been. Now they're getting hot at the right time, which is the scariest part in football. And the Ravens are really good, but it's not like they're playing some perfect team that you just have a must compete game with. They have a legitimate shot more so than ever than I think to win a Super Bowl, especially with Brock Purdy being healthy and not Jimmy Garoppolo being their quarterback.
I don't know, man.
I think
if they play the Ravens again, I think if they have to play the Ravens in the Super Bowl, the Ravens are going to stomp them again.
I don't know if stomp them is the right word. I feel like it'll be closer this time around.
I don't know, man.
I hope so.
I test.
My dream.
I saw what happened that first game. That was not even close. Like that's like we were making the argument about what would happen if like Texas played Oklahoma again. Like they'd be favored, it'd be closer. I test. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's how I feel going into like if the Ravens played the 49ers again, they would stomp them again.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the same with the Lions though. I think it's different because that was at the beginning of the season and the Lions, like They have the coach for it. They can come from
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the Niners. They don't play well from behind. So, dude, I would
Unless they
love
play the Packers.
fuck you. I would love to see if Detroit's going to win this game. I would love to see them win the toss, take the ball, and then get like a 7-8 minute drive to start it and go score a touchdown, and then just play the rest of the game from ahead. That'd be
Yeah.
fantastic. That'd be, I mean, they're key to win. Obviously, score more points and score first. But
Yeah, if I was the
literally,
head coach, I'd want to score on every drive that I have the
oh
ball.
yeah, essentially, just about every drive. But I don't know, man. I think now my dream Super Bowl, and not because I want the Lions to win. I just hate the Niners more than I dislike the Lions. I want a Lions Ravens Super Bowl. I feel like that'd be fun.
I
That'd be
think it's
so
what
fun.
America wants.
I think so too.
Yeah.
No,
I
everyone's
think
tired
they
of the
wanted Lions
Chiefs.
Bills.
Yeah. Well, I mean, America really wanted Packers and nobody else to show up, but you know,
And by
I wanted.
America, you mean the cheeseheads.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted Packers like.
Well, no one gives a shit what you shitty Packers fans wants.
Yeah, that's fair. Everyone fucking we're dumb. But anyways, my dream matchup, like I said, is Detroit and the Ravens. Unfortunately, I just feel like we're gonna get Niners Ravens again.
Yeah. Or
That's
Niners
kinda where I'm
Chiefs again.
I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah.
That's like the Alabama Clemson, dude. I want anything besides that.
I don't care. Bad football is better than no football.
Fair enough. That is very fair. It does suck that
I got you there. Yeah,
we have 3 games left this year.
Yeah.
I just want every game to be fun and enjoyable. But I want also the Ravens to win a Super Bowl.
Again?
Well, I mean, they didn't have Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson. I like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I do too.
I like to see.
Good guy.
I would just like to see them win a Super Bowl because fuck everybody else.
Yeah, that's where you're at right now.
I just fuck everybody else. Yeah, but I do want to hit on this real quick. So obviously, San Francisco's favored -7. We talked about the over under. Like the over in this one. Like the under in the other game. Do you think there's a shot obviously that it happens, but do you think Detroit covers?
Dude, I think San Francisco whomps them.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You just think they're just that much more talented?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So, yeah.
Also, like, I can't think of a scenario where, like, the Lions whomp the 49ers.
Yeah.
Like, if one team's going to whomp, it's going to be one that's been in that position before.
Yeah,
the Lions could realistically just come out hot and just do what the Packers couldn't and, like, put the game away.
Finish, yeah.
But it's...
I think you're right, though, because I think if Detroit comes out and wins, Detroit doesn't win by 20. They win by 7, 3, 1. Like, they're not a team that's going to blow you out of the building. The Niners could realistically, if everything went right.
I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it's a good game.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, I hope it's a good game. I hope both
the
games
Niners have more of a possibility to win this game 50-0 than the Lions do.
Yeah.
My thought on it. But. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's where we're at. I think we both agree we'll probably have a Niners-Ravens Super Bowl. Most likely Niners-Ravens,
won't get there
maybe
yet.
Niners-Chiefs.
Yeah. We'll only put that on the back burner.
Okay.
Let's just wait until after the games. Because I am excited. I love conference championship, and I like the Super Bowl because it's like the ultimate game.
It is.
When you punch your way into the Super Bowl, that's like the best time. It's also the worst time because football ends for like 8 months, but
yeah.
you get to see who the best team was. What if it was Chiefs Lions? The way the season started is how it also ends.
That would be pretty fire. I think that's the matchup no one's talking about.
It's like you're closing the book on the story.
Yeah. That is true. I think that's the one I've heard nobody talk about. I don't think anyone's talked about Lions Chiefs. I think everyone just keeps talking about.
It's kind of gay to think about that. The way it started is exactly how it ended.
Yeah, what kind of nerd would say that?
Yeah.
Like closing the book. What a bitch. But anyways, do you have any other thoughts on Conference Championship weekend before we get out of here?
No, I'm done, man.
Yeah, fairly short episode. Obviously, there's only 2 games to talk about, so there's not much for us to get into, or much for us to really bet. But come back. Please come back and, well, please watch this video and then come back. And we'll be back with our thoughts on Conference Championship weekend probably on Tuesday, and then any other big news or anything else that happens. But yeah, as always, like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on post notifications. I forget that's a thing. I mean, not that anyone's really watching us that much, but if you want to know whenever we go,
Ding the bells.
whenever we post, ring that bell. Yeah, more often than not, just enjoy this weekend. Let us know in the comments what your dream Super Bowl matchup is, or who you think's going to win these games, and also just your favorite part from this past season. But with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and get out of here. This has been the PigSkin Podcast, episode 32. Come back next week for our recap of Conference Championship weekend and our look forward to the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl.
Don't forget about the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, fuck the
We
Pro
ain't
Bowl.
done yet.
Yeah, we got
flag
2.
football.
We got 2 more. We do have flag football, but yep, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you.